Hello and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, where today it is time for more main story. But before we get to that, we have a few things to go over. First off, some more loot, because we're still working through the piles and piles of loot I've been collecting. After we do go over the loot, which today we're doing orchestrion rolls, next we're going to do a check-in here at the Rising Stone, see how everyone's doing, the remaining Scions who survived and escaped the betrayal. And then we'll head back to Onyx trying to continue the main story. So starting off, we have Inklong Dry, which is the orchestrion roll for the Great Gooble Library. Then we have Unbreakable, which is the orchestrion roll for the Fractal Continuum. Whisper of the Land, which I got from a Wyvern skin map. Actually got two of those. Got Silver Tears from the Keeper of the Lake dungeon. Breaking Boundaries, got that from a Wyvern skin map. Hallowed Halls, which is one of the 3 orchestrion rolls for the Vault. Tricksome is the orchestrion roll for Wanderer's Palace Hard. A Fierce Air Fortheth comes from Wolfmark, so it is a PvP reward. A Fine Air Forbiddeth is also a PvP reward for Wolfmarks. Aftermath is the orchestrion roll for Amdapor Keep Hard. Toll of the Bells is a second orchestrion roll for the Vault. And Stigma is the 3rd orchestrion roll for the Vault. Okay, we are nearly caught up on loot. A little bit more to go. We'll cover the rest hopefully next time. Alright, how is everyone doing here at the Rising Stones? I was one of those who to answer the Scion's call to arms and volunteer my blade at the Siege of Ishgard. 'Twas there that I made the acquaintance of this fair fellow. Well, glad to see you made some friends in that fight. It was a very brutal fight against that massive dragon. Unfortunately, I can only get part of the dialogue from this. I don't know if there is more dialogue. But their bravery shall not soon be forgotten. They may be holding a funeral, or they may be going out on some deadly mission. Who knows? To help widen the night of our search efforts, I've recruited a small army of seasoned adventurers. Friends from my own days in the dungeon delving trade. Alright, well, it is very helpful of you to do so. Ephemi! Riel and Lady Ugiri have already left to pursue rumors of the missing Scions. I think I might head to Gridania myself and make some inquiries there. Much appreciated. Bloomvita, I am sorry that I refused your plea for aid, but aside from the very real dangers that Ishgard faced, I sensed something not quite right about the Crystal Braves. Well, you are here now. I don't fault you, given what happened. You're here now, and your sound seems like you're willing to help, so it's appreciated. Ugh. Oh, there's not like a well-earned drink after a hard day's work. Okay, well, you're helpful. Please, at least don't overdo it. We got someone taking a look at our supplies. Clemens and Anor! Oh boy! Oh, here we go! Oh, Anor, why must you always fall for these tragic types? And it is not as if we need another healer. Meet the Cockburn sisters, and yes, their last name is Cockburn. I've met a new man, but he spends more time talking about his lost sibling than aught else. Mayhap you've met the missing brother. I hear he used to work here. Anor, we are going to keep an eye on her. She is quite the character. For 1,000 days I walked along the edges of Abalathia's fiery craters, tempering both mind and body that I might withstand the rigors of battle at my brother's side. When at last I felt I was prepared, I traveled here to Mordona, only to be greeted with the news that Hori is nowhere to be found. Hori Boulder's brother has arrived, but Hori Boulder is still missing. That is deeply unfortunate. Isildour! I came as soon as I heard the news of Allianz captured. But these old bones do not move as quickly as they once did, and the worst of it had ended by the time I arrived in the toll. Well, the fact that you came to help is appreciated nonetheless. And so the moment you learned that your young companion was in danger, you hastened here with an axe in hand. Such fighting spirit, we shall be fine friends, you and I. Isildour. God, I remember... Right! You're Alian's grandpa, aren't you? Didn't you retire to Gridania? If I remember correctly, Alian and Isildour were two of the adventurers that we could actually find outside of the initial 3 tutorial dungeons. So good to see them still around. So yeah, people are picking up the pieces here, doing their best, looking for the missing scions, and looking out for each other, it seems. Alright, back we go to Onyx Shrine. Anyone in here that's interesting? No one knew that I could notice. Alright, onwards to Onyx Shrine. Alright, back in Onyx Shrine, Alphino. Let's get moving on to Idyllshire. Alphino is eager to set out for Sharlayan. So, it would seem we have time to greet the scholar after all. How delightful. I shall be interested to hear how she means to go about finding Minfilia and Thancred. I can only assume she is privy to some new investigative technique. In any event, our first order of business is to rendezvous with Y'shtola in Idyllshire. I can't help but giggle. Alphino doesn't know what he's in for. I do. I'm very excited. I've been very, very excited for this character to show up. This is one of my favorite characters that we're going to be meeting. They are a delight. Another conspicuously uneventful journey. It would seem we are destined not to be late. Indeed. Seems the fates are on our side recently. Ah, Satora, 'tis good to see you. I confess I had assumed your business in Onyx Shrine would detain you longer. Did your meeting with Vidofnir go well? As well as can be expected. She must discuss Sir Emmerich's proposal with Hreisfelger, of course, but she seemed amenable to the suggestion. What of our Sharlayan guest? Has she arrived yet? She has, but when I explained that you would be joining us, she asked if she might use the intervening time to explore. I agreed to meet her outside on Front Bridge. We should be on our way. Oh, so she really wanted to speak with Alphino, did she? So much that she was willing to wait for us to arrive? And explore in the meantime? I wonder who it could be. It would seem we are early. Shall we wait? Wait, back in Ishgard, what was she trying to tell me? I don't know, maybe you should have listened for more seconds than none, instead of interrupting Tataru.
I'm terribly, terribly sorry to have kept you all waiting.
You need not apologize. We arrived but a moment ago ourselves. Pray, allow me to introduce Kryle, who has recently come from the Sharlayan motherland. She has generously offered to assist us.
Oh, please, think nothing of it. A trip to Eorzea was long overdue. You must be the Warrior of Light. Yes, you certainly do look the part. A pleasure to meet you at last, miss. And who is that I spy but young Alphino Levieux himself? I dare say someone's grown an ilm or two in my absence. Or are those lifts in your boots?
Miss Kryle and I met at the studium years ago. I shall forever be indebted to her for her sage guidance.
It was no small task keeping him out of trouble, believe you me. The youngest ever to enter the studium, him and his sister, 11-year-old prodigies. Suffice it to say, social graces were not among his list of talents. Striding up to his seniors on his first day, head held high. What was it he said again?
Thank you, Kryle.
For what? I haven't finished yet. Would you care to attempt a more dexterous deflection?
Mayhap we should save this delightful conversation for a more fitting occasion, when pressing matters do not demand our undivided attention.
A bit much, but better. I can tell you have been putting your skills to use here in Eorzea. Henceforth, I trust you will dazzle me with your eloquence at the first time of asking. Right, on to more pressing matters. Finding Minfilia and the other missing scions.
I gather you have new information to share with us.
A new approach, actually. Tataru recounted the tale of your escape, and it gave me an idea. Simply put, assuming Thancred left some manner of trail when you whisked him away, as is almost always the case with teleportation magics, I am confident I can find and follow it.
Then what are you waiting for?
The wherewithal to do it. The fact is, my abilities aren't quite up to the task. Not in themselves, anyway. If I had Master Matoya's crystal eye, on the other hand...
Then let us all call on her forthwith. I think it best that you explain your plan to her in person.
The Alphado bullying commences. Kryle, it is so good to see you. This is not the first time we have heard the name Kryle. When we first escaped from Castrum Sentry, after breaking out most of the Scions, all but Thancred, from their captivity there, way back in A Realm Reborn, back in the base game of A Realm Reborn. When we broke everyone out of there, Minfilia called Kryle on Link Pearl, to discuss the dark crystal that was on Thancred's, that Thancred is wearing, that was allowing the La Hebrea to possess him. During the patches, when the Isle of Baldesion blew up, or whatever the fuck happened, it was mentioned that Kryle went into a coma. We found that out over Link Pearl. And I believe Moonbreeda managed to escape unhurt. It was a rough time for the students of Baldesion. So she is now finally up, walking around, and ready to visit us. Very, very good to see her at last. The crystal eye is one of Master Matoya's most cherished relics. I doubt very much that she'll grant us leave to lay hands upon it unless we can convince her that it is vital to our cause. She was less than flattering about my technique when last we met, but this time I have come prepared. Let her belittle my obsidian carbuncle if she dares. Do not tell her I said that. Hey Kryle! Hey Kryle! Guess what Alphano just said? I think you should definitely tell Master Matoya about this. You did say we were heading for a cave, did you not? Because I certainly don't see a cave nearby. Is Master Matoya meeting us on the way or something? No. We're almost there. The prospect of meeting the famous Master Matoya seems to have set Kryle thinking. I've heard many stories of Master Matoya, some quite flattering, others less so. Rest assured they are all true. This way, and have care where you tread. Alright, into the cave. Let's hope negotiations go well.
Oh, is that trouble I smell? Or did you forget to wipe your boots on the way in?
Forgive us, Master Matoya. We will be sure to wipe them on the way out. And may I say how glad I am that age has not yet deprived you of your senses.
Ever so quick-witted, aren't we? To the detriment of your manners. Well, out with it then. What do you want?
Pray, allow me to introduce myself, Master Matoya. I am Kryl, of the students of Baldessian. I hope you will excuse our unannounced visit.
Baldessian, you say? Ah, yes. The old coot set up shop on the Isle of Val, didn't he?
Regrettably, our order's headquarters and the isle itself were obliterated by a magic of immense power. I have the blessing of light to thank for my own preservation.
Kryl, you too possess the Echo.
Well, yes, of course I do. Our order is devoted to uncovering the mysteries of Hydaelyn and interpreting her will, particularly through the study of her gift to us. It was in the course of these studies that I met and subsequently befriended Minfilia. She and I have rather a lot in common.
I had no idea.
You weren't supposed to. Not that I wanted to deceive you, you understand, but precautions had to be taken.
Yes, that's all well and good, but you still haven't told me why you're here.
The students of Baldessian are gone, and there is naught I can do to change that. But the science of the Seventh Dawn can yet be restored, and my dear friend found. You have in your possession an ancient crystal of light, one you call your crystal eye. I believe I can use it to focus my abilities and locate one of the missing scions.
And there I was, thinking you might want to make use of my years of experience. Oh, wait here.
Long did I ponder the nature of this crystal and its familiar radiance, but never did I suspect it was a crystal of light.
On the cusp of an umbral calamity, souls blessed with the power of the Echo invariably appear. To aid these, her chosen warriors, Hydaelyn bequeaths to each a slither of her strength in the form of a crystal of light. But as her strength wanes, so too does the potency of her gifts. This crystal, born of an earlier era, is infused with a power far greater than those of this age.
You could travel the length and breadth of the land and not find a crystal even a fraction as pure. Its value is beyond measure, as are the risks inherent in its use.
No two manifestations of the Echo are alike. I, for example, can converse with beings of every shape and size, excepting beasts, contrary to what others would have you believe. Language has nothing to do with it, of course. Rather, I am sensitive to the whispers of the soul, their intent, their very essence even, the traces of which serve to guide the elementals to Y'shtola. Far-fetched though it may sound, I believe that with your crystal eye, I may be able to pick up where they left off and follow the remaining trail to Thancred. That is, if I have your permission.
Well, the poor sod's not going to find himself. So, as long as you don't drop it or take it out of my sight, you may do with it what you will.
Thank you, Master Matoya. Then let us begin. From the Black Shroud, The trail continues to the north and west, towards a mountain, the foot of Som Al. It was a near thing, but he was not deposited within the rock. I think.
The hunters of Tailfeather know those lands well. I say we begin our search there.
Thank you, Matoya. I better go thank her personally. So all these times traveling through the area, Thancred may have been in the region of the Dravanian Forelands, is what you're telling us. Amazing. No one ever comes around for tea anymore. No one's always saving this, preventing that, or mending the gods forsaken another. Anyone would think I was in good company. I think you're wonderful company. A little abrasive, but that seems to be the way you like it. Alright, well, let's go track down Thancred. He's been under our goddamn noses this whole time, it seems. We had forests like these on the Isle of Val. My grandfather and I used to go for walks together when I could prise him away from his work. It was the least I could do for him considering everything he has done for me. Taking me in when I was an orphan, raising me as his own, and giving me a name. You didn't think my parents named me Kryle Baldesian, did you? It's not a very Lalafell name, no. Thancred may be a capable warrior, but he was wounded when last I saw him. If any beasts were nearby when he emerged from the life stream, he would have been hard-pressed to repel them. Then let's hope we were quick enough. Were I to find myself in an unfamiliar wilderness, my first instinct would be to seek out signs of civilization. Ordinarily, perhaps, but in his wounded state, he may not have wished to risk contact with strangers of unknown allegiance. Yet even had Thancred chosen to remain in the forest, the hunters would surely have stumbled across his trail. Tailfeather doesn't strike me as an isolated outpost, though. Merchants and traders pass through reasonably regularly, do they not? In which case, we'll need to provide a more detailed description when we question the locals. Fear not, Kryle, I've already prepared several sketches of Thancred for that very purpose. This is impressive. You drew him from memory. A skill I acquired some years ago for reasons I no longer remember. Kryle? Kryle, do you happen to know? You seem to have dirt on him. I would love to hear it. I propose we split into two pairs. Y'shtola and I will inquire at the outlying encampments, while Satora and Kryle question the residents of Tailfeather. Afterwards, we shall regroup near Lothas Voth and share our findings. Assuming there are no objections, let us be about it. Okay, Kryle, now that they're gone, you have to tell me all the dirt. My, he certainly has matured, hasn't he? Hard to imagine he was once a boy who practiced drawing for hours to impress young ladies. There it is! Honestly, I have to respect that. At least he's doing something to try and be impressive. Anyway, we had best get started. Find me when you finish making your rounds. It's a reasonable skill to develop, it's a useful skill, it is a creative skill, which is not quite what I expected out of him. And it's coming in handy now. I find no reason to complain. Hey, Lupard, how's it been? Searching for a friend of yours? Let's have a look then. A surprisingly accurate depiction of the missing Thancred, suggesting that Alphino may have mistaken his life's calling. Damn. Even the quest dialogue is roasting him. No, I ain't seen him around, sorry. Well, that's concerning. Supposedly, he landed in the area. I would hope he's been seen. It's surely been months. Pray excuse me, but have you seen this man before? Best of luck, Kryle. Marsa Chum, how's it been? What's that you got there, a sketch? Yeah, we're looking for this man. He hasn't done anything wrong, we're just worried about him. He's been missing for a while. Can't say I know the face. You say he's something of a warrior? I heard a tale the other day about a Huron vagabond who brought down a bandersnatch by himself, and with style. Where they tell it, he was dancing with the beast like it was a bell of the bleeding ball. Sound like your man? Oh, that's him. That's him, all right. All right, so he has been in the area. Keeping reasonably out of sight, though not without being noticed entirely. A Huron man? We're not exactly rare, you know. Could you be more specific? Yeah, this man right here. I did spy this one bloke a while back. Didn't get a good look at his face, but it could have been him. This was beyond the forest, as I recall, along the river to the west of Tailfeather. I remember thinking he wasn't much of a hunter. The lad was making no effort to cover his tracks, see? That, and he was carrying an axe instead of a bow. An axe? That's not an unusual weapon for him. He usually uses knives, doesn't he? He used a sword for a bit. I believe he started using knives around the Patches when he learned from the Rogues Guild. No, he learned from Yugiri. Finished? In that case, I think we've learned everything we can here. Let's see what the others have found out. Well, that last one we talked to, I think I got an idea why he hasn't been seen by the Hunters of Tailfeather all that much. Other than the fact that he has been seen by the Hunters of Tailfeather. Now, if he's hanging out to the west outside of the forest, near the dragons, that would explain it. That would explain why he has not been spotted. Though that also puts him in probably considerably more danger. Alright, well, let's meet up with everyone and make sure... see what our next plan is for tracking him down. We were to meet here, were we not? Yes, Kryl, right here. They'll show up soon enough, I'm sure of it. My apologies for our late arrival. We thought it wise to question as many hunters as we could. That's fair. Many have made camp in inaccessible locations, ideal for hunting game, not so receiving visitors. Nevertheless, our time proved well spent. There have been countless sightings of an exceptionally capable Huron hunter with whom no one is familiar. Though none chance to see the man's face, his height and build match Thancred's description, as does his fighting prowess. We heard much the same, though he was out here, near the Dravanians. So you have heard the same tales. Be that as it may, we yet want for conclusive proof. Mayhap this is unrelated, but I heard a curious tale regarding a Voth trader. He came to Tailfeather in search of garments fit for a man of refinement, which seemed a rather curious description for one of his kind. You are implying that Thancred sent a Voth to market in his stead. Why would he not go himself? Well, if you recall, you yourself emerged from the live stream as naked as your name day. It is a scene I shall never forget. Is it now? Well, I was pleased to see you. I mean, it was a simple statement of fact. The Alpha No bullying continues. It stands to reason that Thancred found himself in the same predicament. In any case, if he had dealings with the Voth, they should be able to tell us, no? Quite right, Kryl. Quite right. Alright. Then that's our next step. We're gonna be talking to the Voth and seeing if they know where Thancred is. I will see everyone next time for that.